Under the sea, under the sea, a bird's sweater, take it from me, what we got. Okay, sorry guys, distracted by singing Under the Sea, if you know what I mean. Sorry, my singing voice has gone and went from the strats. Um, anyway, The Little Mermaid, let's talk about it because this is one of my favorite films. Despite its dark notion, there is a lot to this, and honestly, I love the theory that I shouldn't say I've stumbled upon, but I've kind of created on my own. Okay, like you have to understand, it is actually part of a larger theory called the Tinkerbell theory. I will get to that probably in April. But it is in my second book, so if you actually want to read about it, I do explain more in there, so go buy it. Anywho, The Little Mermaid is um, the beginning of the, was it the Renaissance, the Golden Age, the fantastic films that we grew up on. You know, if you're in your millennials, you know, it came out in 1989. It was just one of the best. The Easter eggs in this video, fantastic. Don't know if you all caught that. Probably not. I can watch it 100 times and I still find more. But it is a movie that no matter what, you just kind of get into. Now, granted, watching this as an adult, looking back at my younger self, what was I thinking? I was so much like Ariel at that age. Like, what? What? But you got to understand for the time period that this is actually set in, um, young marriages were very common. I'm not saying it was right, I'm just saying it was very common. And I do cover the timeline in my theory video, so you can check that out. But let's cover the Easter eggs and the hidden Mickeys because that's always something fun to do. Okay, we're covering The Little Mermaid, which is the start of the Renaissance period for Disney. There are actually a lot of hidden Mickeys, specifically within the bubbles. So I'm not going to cover all of those. I will show you guys a few like I have been, but I'm just making it clear that there are a lot. Now, when it comes to where Atlantis is, it's pretty much between where Belize and Monaco is. I will talk more about that in the Little Mermaid theory, so bear that in mind. Now, in this scene where King Triton is coming down, you can see Goofy, Donald, Mickey, and yeah, so you can see them. Again, I'm showing you a little bit more of the bubbles, the hidden Mickey bubbles. So, very, very common. A lot of this, how do I explain it? There are a lot. Now, when it comes to Ariel's sisters, each one is based off one of the 7 C's, all A names. Y'all can research it, but their colors are associated with what the color of the sea is. Now, there was a theory about this ship and it being Tarzan's ship, but that has been debunked because they are on a different part. They are in a different part of the world, right? They are nowhere near Africa, FYI. They are not. Very far from it. So, that's been debunked. Of course, we have Ursula. Ursula is based off a drag queen. Ariel is based off, oh God, what's her name? Alyssa Milano. If you look in the cave, there are tons of Easter eggs to different times in history, which Ariel has clearly been salvaging. So you can definitely find some cool things. There is like this little dancing thing that was from, it was like a mimic of Robin Hood. The can was from the Sword in the Stone. There is the Magdalena, which was the picture. Knight's helmet, again, Sword in the Stone. So you guys get the point. There are a ton of Easter eggs that you guys can check out. Anyway, as the story goes, Ariel is a 16-year-old mermaid who feels like she doesn't belong under the sea. She is fascinated with humans, right? With people with legs, right? And she falls in love with Prince Eric, who we believe is a prince from Monaco or the Monaco area. And Sebastian's trying to convince her otherwise, to stay down in the ocean because it's better. We have his song, why am I blanking on the name? But anyway, but she goes away, she swims away. She's fascinated with the human world, and she does everything in her power to get legs. That meant she went to Ursula. She made a deal. She lost her voice in exchange for legs, so she had to convince Prince Eric to kiss her before the end of the third day, and she could always have legs. Ursula, Ariel was having trouble, but Ursula made sure there was even more trouble when she decided to become Vanessa and use Ariel's voice to enchant Prince Eric. Best way of putting it. So she enchanted him, and they were going to get married, and then by that end, Scuttle and all the animals helped defeat Vanessa. There was a big fight. Vanessa then turns back into Ursula. Ariel is now back into being a mermaid, but she also has her voice. Anyway, big fight. Eric still fights for her. Yada, yada, yada. They end up getting married and so forth. So, yeah. There are a ton of other Easter eggs. Like, here's the Muppets. These puppets that were featured in Hunchback of Notre Dame. The fountain before was similar to the fountain in Beauty and the Beast. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Where is Wetters? Okay, anyway, I'm still singing that song. What are your thoughts and opinions? Who was your favorite character? Did you know that, did you know about those Easter eggs? I mean, honestly, did you know? Because I knew some of them. I didn't know all of them until I started really working on my book series 9 years ago now. Holy mackerel. But books 1 and 2 are out. I do cover the theory in full in book 2. The theory video will be coming out, but it's not the full theory, which will come out probably later this year. So let me know down below any other movies you want me to cover. Again, just a reminder, February and March will be strictly Marvel, so stay tuned for that if you enjoy the Marvel films, because they are linked to the Disney Pixar connection line. Anyway, I will see you guys very, very soon for part 2, which will cover Ariel's daughter. So stay tuned.